Tala for love, everybody, and welcome back to what are we called again?
Village Council Podcast, where we talk about everything and everything.
And everything else in between on all those things. Just don't say Palestine because it's a bit awkward now. Oh shit, we going like that. We're going in like that. Fuck it, we're going to go all the way. We got a very special guest in the fella today.
Very.
It's one of our brothers, our Usos, from Hawaii.
Yeah,
Hawaii.
808.
Yeah, the 808. The Us, Slo-Mo. How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm currently 3 modelos deep
Hey.
and plan on getting more deeper. Pause.
Does this have that thing?
Is that the?
Oh, was I supposed to hit that?
I don't know. It's recording everybody still though.
Yeah, obviously.
That's supposed to be the
Yeah, but I didn't see that. All I see is
So we're out here in Waikiki. And
come again.
yeah, so let's try it again. We're out here in Waikiki, and thanks for coming in, bro. Thanks for jumping on the podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I think this is a podcast. We're not really podcast guys, but we're trying to figure it out, because apparently it's a good way to get conversations rolling that people don't really have. So they might have, but yeah, this is just our little, chip in.
little 5 cents here and there, Yeah,
We try. So, Us, we've been knowing each other for a while now, and this small ass table is like. And just to let you guys know, we're not at the shop. We're out here filming in the island, and this is where we're staying. So, thanks to those and Mike for coming out. And,
shout out to Mikey.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Magic Mike.
So, Us, where are you from? I'm just gonna ask you questions like this just so we can get into it for our viewers.
Get the flow going.
All zero of them because we haven't even dropped this shit yet. But you're coming though.
Yeah.
So Waipahu?
Raised in Waianae. Well, born in American Samoa.
Yeah.
Raised in Waianae, like the Waianae coast, and then been in Waipahu ever since. After that, shit. Can we swear?
What's it like? So you can't say fuck, shit, bitch, or anything. Can you edit that out? Nah, go ahead,
Cunt
bro.
is okay though. No, yeah, shit. And then a lot of time in Northern California too, like the Bay and Central Valley.
So your life has been a traveler's life.
Yeah, I was a nomad.
Yo.
I was not mad.
See, that's kind of like us because we got sent around a bit. We went around and did time with different families, different spots along the way to getting to where we are today. So you've seen a lot. And you've experienced your life experience, like you understand what happens here, what happens there, politics, culture, all of that, gentrification. You've seen a lot of.
Yeah.
What's the difference between? Well, I can't say the difference between Samoa and here because it's like
Similar.
it's islands. Like there are differences, but what would be the difference between living on an island like here, and then moving to the Bay?
To me, so if I was just to speak as a Polynesian, the word, but the further you get from this area, like the South Pacific and all, the further away from your culture you're gonna be.
Yeah.
So you kind of the further out you travel, the more you kind of cut off from that. Unless you live in like a community where there's a lot of Samoan, a lot of Tongan, But for us, for our family, we moved to a lot of places where we was like the only Samoan on the street or the only Samoan in the school.
Yeah.
Or pretty much like that. So it's like you kind of, everywhere you go, you got to introduce your whole culture, backstory, history. And then you're kind of learning everybody else's and you're trying to like figure out how to wiggle with them. You know what I mean? So.
Did you speak Samoan in the household? Like
when I was a kid, because we lived in Ili till till I think like some point in my kindergarten year, and then we moved over here.
Oh shit!
And when we moved to Waianae, there was a lot of Samoans over there, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like when people come here, no matter what race they are. They kind of, the modelo, they kind of assimilate what they call the local culture. But
Yeah.
and I don't mean like the word local, but like over here, local just means the whole different thing. It's like its own race, pretty much.
Yeah.
So pretty much, yeah.
Oh, so
I forget the rest of the question.
getting there.
But
Getting
yeah,
there.
yeah. The gears are going. You know.
Yep.
I usually start drinking like now, but you know, when in Rome. Cheers, guys.
Yeah. You should continue.
We just came from your hood, bro, from your area, you know, your grounds.
Beautiful place, by the way, man.
And
Thank you.
I haven't been back there. I was just saying to the Oos downstairs. I haven't been back to Waipahu in like 22 years. That's how long it's been since the last time I was out here.
Yeah, you were saying your family.
Yeah, they used to stay out there, and I just found out today because I was asking, hey, where's everyone at? And then my cousin who lives in the Bay right now is saying like, out there in Pearl City, and just trying to get around and see family while we're here. But can you tell us about what it's like growing up in the area?
In that over there?
Yeah,
In
your
Waipahu?
experiences out there.
Man, you know, I feel like everywhere you go, that's the same story. Where the older people always say, "Oh man, in the '90s," you know what I mean? But yeah, bro, like in the '90s, over there was pretty. You know, I guess you would say it's a rough area. Everything that comes with poverty is there. You know what I mean? So, literally, everything that comes with poverty happened over there. But the people back then, at least, there was still like a community because you still had like that element of Fasamo there, the element of Aloha out here. When those two things combine, it's
power,
you know,
man.
Yeah, you never.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, for real.
The mana.
But we never, like in our building, when we were there, like there was like there was nobody in the building that you didn't know. You know what I mean? So,
Like community, like everyone's okay.
So if I don't have no meat for the meal, I got rice. I come knock on your door. I say, hey, we got, some rice.
Cup of
You
sugar.
bring this way, CC. Boom. We cook. Everybody like kind of collab.
So everyone shares their shit around now.
Pretty much. That's how it used to be. Now it's kind of different. But back in those days, like even with everything that was going on, because I'm telling you, like they had everything going on over there. You still had that element pretty much, and that's what made everybody so tight. Because the one thing about like we was talking before, you know what I mean, even with like gangs and shit like that, we always kind of view ourselves as Samoan first. The way Waipahu used to be, from my experience, coming over there from Waianae, is everybody was still like they rep 94 block before they rep whatever they rep individually, or you know what I mean. It's the same for a lot of neighborhoods out here. Like when we come out here to Waikiki, somebody we might not get along with in the neighborhood, if we see them out in town, we still gonna have their back because we out here. You know what I mean? We're not from over here.
Peace, is that like Otara? Like, if you got a Blood or a Crip set or any other gang, but they're Otara, you guys can always find that common ground. Like, hey, it's Otara though.
Pretty much, bro.
Because I seen how you guys move out there.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Everyone gets along.
Even if it's beef, if you guys are all if you guys know the other guy and he's from the other side of Otara, you can still bring it back in.
Yeah, standard.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah,
you were
pretty
saying?
much. Yeah.
I think that's how it should be, man. I know sometimes, things get a bit out of control. It's just life. It's just the way it goes. We're all dealing with the negative effects of all the colonization and all that bullshit. But with the music, though, we've always tried to find a way to establish common ground. And I feel like that's you too, bro. I feel like you bring a lot of people together. The first time I saw you on the Cypher with Uptown, and I seen, like you guys are from different hoods that was on, like all the members that were spitting on that particular episode. You guys are from different areas, right? But you guys can get together and showcase your talent together on the same platform. To me, that was inspirational for us because I was on the way of trying to figure out what we're gonna do, and we figured it out. We're gonna bring people together. And you're part of the inspiration. And Uptown Sweet, too. Shout out Uptown.
Shout out to those.
Yeah.
People don't know, like, Uptown is kind of like,
Yeah, man.
We had this conversation. See, we already did this podcast in this room the other night, but then
It wasn't recorded.
the cameras weren't set up. We were just. But now, because it's late and we got like a old neighbor, she gonna kick us out if we too loud. So we're talking like this. I feel like I'm talking like I'm high or something, but yeah.
That's why the ASMR right now.
ASMR. I don't get this joke. Explain this. Elaborate.
Polo.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Bless you on your OnlyFans page.
I forget what ASMR stands for.
Same.
Yeah.
But what does it stand for?
American Samoans making rupees.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I'm just fucking.
So I didn't even know that.
Cut that out. Cut that shit out. No, but Uptown.
Yeah.
Uptown Sweet, to me, he doesn't get enough credit for kind of being like the glue, you know what I mean? Like bringing
guy,
people together, like introducing people, like where you guys was at earlier when you guys came to our neighborhood, like,
Yeah.
bro, there's a time in my life my friends had to convince me to go out to the club and shit for the first time, right? Because I would never leave the you guys him too. I would never leave the hood. Go store, get the 40, come home, drink,
Stay in the hood.
chill.
It's safe in the
that's
hood.
it. And then, you know, even like, you know, talk shit in the hood, like, yeah, I wish those motherfuckers would come over here. But never leave the hood. You know what I mean?
What made you? How come you didn't want to go up, bro? Was it just
Man,
not
you
your
know,
buzz or?
You know that now that I'm older now, I can look at it like, you know, and be like, I think it was the insecurity of, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, it was just like, man, fuck the club, fuck this and whatever. But now I kind of think it's just when we grow up in those areas, we just kind of, we don't want to leave our comfort zone, you know what I mean? Like,
I get it. Yeah.
we know the condition. Like when I turn the video game on, I know what to expect in this area. When I leave this area, I don't know, you know.
Big question mark, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Shit. And, you can edit shit out, eh?
Yeah. Sorry, man. Yeah.
What? Nah, you went.
Thank you, bro.
I was going to ask
question?
how, what got you into music.
We'll go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that real quick before I forget it. So why
Wait,
did they
what's
call you the Ooze?
okay. I don't view myself as, and then now I get to finally clear the air. I don't view myself as the Ooze.
The Ooze
You know what I
gang.
mean? The Ooze gang.
The Ooze. Oh, that's what
Nah, because
Yeah, like
fucking
the
to
Ooze.
me, I'm still Slo-Mo, but that's the original name.
Yeah.
That's the original.
so
original.
original.
That's
Hey,
the original
Modelo, bro.
name.
Shout out Modelo, man. Get us a
Yeah.
sponsorship. Come on now.
Cerveza. Nah, that's
So Slo-Mo first.
yeah.
And then the Ooze came later,
So
eh?
when did the
Then-
Ooze come around?
The Ooze came when I was working at UPS in San Francisco, thanks to my cousin, Big Mike Lafiti. Rest in peace. Love you, cuz. He got me a job over there because I was just like fucking roaming the bay trying to, you know, be a rapper and shit.
Yeah.
And our other cousin had just passed away, and it was me and his idea. Like he wanted to DJ, I wanted to rap and shit, so we were gonna do that. But he passed away, and then I just would go to UPS, and because I was living in Richmond, and the warehouse was in San Francisco, I had to catch a bus, then a train, then another bus. It was one of those, you know, when I was raised, I walked 4 miles in the snow uphill, but nah, I caught a bus through Richmond and Berkeley, took the train from Oakland to Frisco, took the bus down Potrero Hill, and I was always coming to work late, like literally every day. And there was these two El Salvadorians that worked in UPS, and every time I walk across the scaffold,
Yeah.
they would go, "Hey, the Ooze man."
The Ooze man.
It was a joke, like, "Oh shit, he's late again. It's the Ooze man." And then after a while, like I didn't really want to rap no more because of some things was going on. I just kind of like switched it up and was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just take the nickname they gave me and just go by the Ooze. And at the time, I guess shit, nobody was going by the Ooze at that time, so. You know, and now it's easier to find me on the Googleization.
That's hard though. Like that name, the Ooze, is saying like that's the Ooze.
Yeah, that's a tough ass name, right?
Ooze, not to cut you off, but we started it. So when we was, you know, what? when we was little Moy memes, you know, little Moy memes in that neighborhood that y'all was at, the original inspiration of Oos was Untouchable Crip Enterprise. I don't care. I'm gonna say
Hey, man,
it.
I see
There
that.
you go.
I'm gonna say it. And the gang was just me and my cousins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Ja, vadå, statslig?
we never recruited anybody. We didn't get past like us 4. So or 5, I don't remember. Then I just kind of started the way I started thinking was starting to get changed. It was getting different. So I switched it up and I was calling it Unity Changes Everything.
Oh,
Because I
shit.
just started, when we started doing music, I started thinking like, man, you know, people from over here, people from over there, that we used to sit, get drunk and be like, oh, if I ever see them, I'm going to punch them in the face, you know. We started to meet them and it's like, oh, they going through the same shit as us.
Yeah.
They come from the same background as us. They trying to do the same music. They got the same hope, dream, aspiration. Fuck it, let's just push this. And then that's what happened with that, you know what I mean?
United Samoan Organization. I remember hearing that.
You need to
Just throwing that
change
in
everything.
there. Yeah.
Fuck, I might put that on a t-shirt.
We're going to try to
Thank
make
you.
it a 501c, what's it called?
It's really
Yeah. But nah, so that, I forget what the question was again, but
same, bro. This beer is really
Is
good.
it, yeah, well, what got you into music in the first place?
so I always liked music because my dad,
Yeah.
nah. My dad always used to play different kind of music. He's part of that generation of Samoans that is from after that first wave in Frisco, you know. He's born in the Fillmore, so he's like exposed to all this different kind of music. It's like jazz, R&B, whatever. And we grew up in the house. He played all that shit. Even like, you know, early island music and all. Because I don't know if you go back to like the earlier island music, is like before we got so heavily influenced by reggae. We used to do all kind of music like
So
rock,
yeah.
R&B, soul, everything. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
my pops used to like do ballads and shit.
Yeah.
My uncles, you know, everyone's uncles sang country and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Even like some of them was doing like progressive rock and shit.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
jazz, like everything. This is like the pre hip hop generation, like the first run, 40, 50 years ago or whatever.
So he brought us up hearing music, so that's why I like music. The reason I got into rap was because every Sunday after church we'd come back home and out here you would see Yo MTV Raps around that time.
Fuck, that's the one.
And so, you know, I won't specifically say which videos because then I'm gonna carbon date myself.
You're not that old, man.
Yeah, it was Two Live Crew. Nah.
Two Live Crew.
Nah, it wasn't Two Live Crew, but you know, I started seeing like the imagery, and I didn't get like this, oh wow, that's cool. I just got this feeling of like, damn, that looks like what the fuck I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? When I didn't get that feeling from other music because like I was too young, I wasn't getting no bitches, so R&B was just cool. I just you know thought it was nice, but
R&B was a shit in the 90s.
So
Exactly.
it still is, bro. I still listen to that old shit.
But when I seen them depicting everything, and when I say them, like hip hop, depicting everything, showing the scenery and all, I was like, damn, this is what I'm going through right now.
Reality rap, huh?
So then I started liking it, and then when I was a kid, my mom at the time bought me the tape of It Was Written from Nas,
Yeah.
Ooh.
and then Take It in Blood. When I heard Take It in Blood, I was like, oh fuck, dude. I want to try and write a verse. So I wrote a verse after I heard that song. And the verse was Kyle, for sure. But, you know, let's pretend it was dope.
Yeah, nah.
Nas
Fire,
is, like, Nas is
It
one
was
of my
amazing.
favorites ever, bro.
Sicky.
I seen Nas live when I was in Australia, and he sounded just like the record, if not better, on stage.
Can I ask you a question? Who is your favorite MC, like, of all time?
I don't know if I have one. There's the Ooze. There's
Put some crowd noise right there. Like,
there's Tupac, there's Bone Thugs, there's Booyah, there's DJ Quick, Sugar Free, like Nas, AZ. I think is dope. I think Uptown Suite's one of the greatest.
yeah.
100%.
Immortal Technique, and I'm still catching up on hip hop. So, you know, coming from Samoa and not being educated to hip hop besides the West Coast, I feel like now, the last few years being overseas, okay, now I can be educated to the history of hip hop and everything that we missed because we didn't have access. We didn't have this is before the internet. We didn't have the cassette tapes and the CDs that everyone else grew up with. All of our cousins that came over, they just came over with what they had on them, and we just fed into it. Now you can just Google Maps your way to a freaking playlist.
Was it like that for y'all? And because I know you grew up in Samoa.
Yeah, up here.
And whenever I'd go back to visit American Samoa, I noticed because I remember when I was a kid, I was like telling my auntie all the different kind of rappers I like, but everybody over there liked a lot of the LA shit. You know what I mean? Like they like the
heavy LA,
they like all that. Like it was like that out there too.
Like majority of the people I grew up with are from LA or from that side, California, then Utah, and then like the cousins that we didn't see a lot, like more frequently, they were from like Kansas and further out.
Oh shit!
When they come over like for the family reunion and that. But all the homies that come over or get sent over, they're from the areas on
That's
the
why I
west.
want to know what was they listening to, like the family from Kansas. You know what I mean? Like,
When they came through, they were just drinking with the elders, and I was just running around trying to find cigarettes. Like a good young kid.
The cigarette butts.
Till I used to steal my dad's cigarettes because my dad always had like 4 or 5 packs in the glove compartment. Whenever the party was on, I was like, this guy never lock his car. Really. Sorry, Dad. My dad won't watch this shit, man. Yeah, fuck, I hope not.
He will.
My dad will whoop my ass, dog. He's 77 years old, still shoot me in the leg.
Make this the clip and DM.
Bro, I tried to. It's
Set
funny.
it up.
I think I've said this. Nah, I said that too many times on the podcast. I'll say it again, bro. I tried to talk to my dad about feelings, depression, anxiety, and all these things that I've been exposed to since I've been away from him overseas. Because it's a big thing. Mental health is a big thing now. And then I tried to have a conversation with Dad about it. He just pulled up, and for some reason I fucking just started going into the conversation with him. He was looking at me, he lights a cigarette. Oh yeah. Just came from town, and he reaches into the thing, pulls out a piece of paper. Oh, that's interesting, son. Okay. And pulls out like his gun, and I was just like, because he just came back from re-registering his shit. And then he goes, it sounds like you're just fucking making excuses. And then he gave me a look like,
The trauma.
are you gay or some shit? Like, what the fuck is all this emotion shit? Get the fuck out there and go get to work. And then I was just like, okay then. I was just like, shit, you know what? The elders of us never had time to sit down and go, my life was traumatic as fuck. I might have to heal. And then here my ass is over here talking about, got to get to in depth with what's wrong inside here and all that, and heal. Fucking our parents just work, bro.
How you feel? Would you say that you're on the fence with that? Like, cause I only ask that because I'm on the fence with it. Like sometimes I feel like, no, all the time I feel like it's important. You know what I mean? I feel like we ignore it way too much.
Yeah.
As far as like mental health and what's going on the inside and over here. But then there's times where I just kind of feel like, man, fuck that shit. You know what I mean?
That's where I'm at now, bro. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear about how we going to get this fucking rent paid, how we're going to fucking flip this thing here into a masterpiece. I want to hear this because I'm hearing too much of the feelings being hurt and all this. Like, fuck, everyone had it hard, dog. Fuck it. Let's just keep moving.
So what's the balance then for that?
I don't know, bro. I'm an alcoholic operating, alcoholic nonetheless. Shit.
Shout out Modelo.
Modelo.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to get me another one.
I got you, man.
This,
And I'm there right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the ones that aren't there, because I feel like you've been in a lot of different mental spaces along your way in your journey.
Yeah.
And you've seen a lot of shit.
Emphasis on mental. Mental crazy.
And like I used to react to things a lot differently. And when we were younger, bro, I used to always try and fucking I didn't give a fuck. I would set things off, knowing that the bigger guy's gonna whoop my ass, but I got base there, I got tall, I got all the homies, so I'm like, if I get mopped up first, these guys are gonna suffer with what the homies run through. And so that was me as a kid, not knowing how the fuck to operate properly. Fuck, did we just go down a different path here?
I don't know.
No.
Well, fuck, let's just keep going down this path anyway.
Let's
Drive your
go.
car valley back inside.
So I think what I was trying to say there, Modelo, is I'm at a place now where I'm a bit more calm. I can have conversations. I can shut the fuck up and try to listen to the homie talk so I can understand what knowledge and gems you got. So I'm not so reactive anymore. And I try to take my time. And I see a lot of the younger homies that's younger than us. The next wave coming up, they're exactly what we were, or if not worse. A lot of the younger ones are bang bang right now instead of talking. So, yeah, talk about it, man. Shit.
I don't think that, when I say, man, fuck that shit, that's kind of like the older, kind of like watching our elders, how they, like how you said, how your dad like approached it, because like growing up, my dad didn't really like sit down and be like, man, you know what I feel, you know what I mean? Like he didn't never do that shit.
That's all our parents, right?
But I don't think, like I don't want to say, man, fuck that shit to disregard it, because I think it's important because, man, like how you said that you're able to operate calmly. Being calm in so many different scenarios, if we playing like poker or if we, you know what I mean? Like if we really doing like mental warfare or like just the war between good and evil like out there, you got to be able to kind of like jump out the scene real quick, observe everything and take time to do it. And sometimes the only way you can do that is if you understand who you are, right? Otherwise, you just kind of like you just fucking just walking around doing that. So I don't disregard the importance of it. I will say that I still think the new generation, I still think not all of them is with the trying to figure that out, and I think that's what leads them down that path of just kind of, fucking shit up.
I don't think our parents, what you call it? I don't think they, how do you say it? Like meant to, like harden up.
Yeah.
But fuck, bro, that's probably all they knew, eh? Like,
Bro, they were soldiers, bro. They still are, Yeah, man.
I don't think they had the luxury or the leeway or the opportunity to do it, especially like if they raising us in a society or in a culture that's alien to what they know growing up. What time do you have to spend dissecting yourself? You know what I mean? None. Yeah, that's what I think. I could be wrong. Like, I'm always open to being wrong. I like to be wrong because when I'm wrong, that's when I get to learn some new shit.
100%.
I talk a lot about racism. It's just one of the things because of, the way we grew up and I had a few experiences. And then the culture shocks of going overseas. So to me, I was always trying to figure it out. Trying to talk to my dad about this shit. And he just goes, is it going to feed your fucking face? Go get a job, son. Keep your head down, make your money. Don't start no shit because you can't beat the government. You can't beat the cops. They're too deep. So just fly under the radar till you're ready to dip out. And I wasn't mature enough to understand what he was trying to tell me at the time. I was 17 when I had this conversation with him. And he's just like, man, they're fucking killing us anyway. Like, look at our whole history. But he wouldn't say it like in depth. He wouldn't educate me to it. Just be like, just get to work, son. And I feel like because of that mentality, I'm always like, I gotta work. And that's where I find the balance is. I think for me, just being busy helps me not feel like I'm fucking depressed or I want to go blow my brains out or I'm upset about this or that. And there's probably some fucking smart person kind of term for it, technically, but...
Let me ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, man.
Like, so people get depressed from life and shit, right? Has music ever put you in that position to where you ever were in a place of being like, yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought everything was good. Life was good. The music started blowing up finally. And then we got fucked in a game. Like business.
Learning curve.
And then, a lot of people that we was fucking with started doing weirdo shit. And I tried to be calm about it, but, the us from 5 years prior to that would have just fucking, did the Ice Cube with the baseball bat and
that same shit.
like we've been waiting for that moment our whole
Records.
life.
Yeah.
And I guess at the time, because a lot of these people that did that weird shit, they're Salmons. And I was just like, my ego, all this shit, trying to fucking go out there and go, hey man, you did this and Now we got to do this. I just thought, fuck it. And you're older too. Fuck it. Like, God bless you. Do your thing. And I felt like I was doing a favor for the culture. Because the culture doesn't need to please my ego. But then later on in life, I seen them fuck up with other people. And I was just like, damn, maybe I should have just ran it straight. So perhaps my mistake was not holding people accountable. Because when I fuck up, the homies hold me accountable.
That's good homies.
You know? Real ones will always say, hey, man, you fucking up, dog. Like, come on, man. So I feel right now like I'm having another look at things. But as far, go back to your question, have you ever been depressed for music? Yeah, man. Like, when you lose a lot of money and you come from poverty. See, this is the thing motherfuckers don't get. When you come from fucking nothing, when you got 3 empty bottles of Coke to buy your food, like, once you get that 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, and then motherfuckers fuck it up for you, people that you trusted, it's like a hurt that I can't put it into words. It's a betrayal. Like bloodshed should have happened, but you know, God has bigger plans. And
But you're in a better place now, eh, brother?
I'm starting to get heated right now.
And second of all, motherfucker.
You know what? Let's run it now.
No, I just
How about you, Bird? Like,
no. As far as me,
yeah.
boy, let me tell you, bust out that violin. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, because that kind of goes back to the other, you know, when the Slo-Mo to the oos thing. Because when most of my time, like now, I feel like people just kind of finding out that I exist, yeah. Because I was in a group for the longest time with, I say I'm in a group with my boy. There was 3 of us, but I always counted as me and my homie, Mushmouth. Shout out to Mush. That's my brother right there. But man, me and him reached some kind of crazy heights for kids that come out of here. Like, because nobody was coming, no disrespect to anybody who ever did anything out of here. But I feel like we hit benchmarks that a lot of people didn't hit. You know what I mean? And when we were doing that, the momentum started to rise, and we kept thinking, like I remember being like, a little bit watery-eyed and shit, cutting onions type shit with me and him. Just finished doing like our album release show, and shit, dog. Like we was outside in Chinatown, and he was telling me, he put his arm around me. He's like, man, oh, see what I told you? Keep trust me, bro. Like, you doing the right thing. Da 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 da. Cause for music, for me, it's always been. I don't know if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, but for me with music, it's been a long history of other people convincing me to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I kind of sit around and be like, oh man, I'm not good enough, because I put time into the craft. You feel me? Like
we hear that too.
I'm trying to, I'm looking at it like a knife, and I'm trying to cut everybody's throat. But the dream or whatever of doing music for real and shit has always been something that other people have always had to tell me, like, keep me on that path and shit. And one of the other reasons why you see me come back as the oos and shit is like my brother, you know what I mean? Like he kind of see me going down a different path and shit, and he was like, I'm not gonna speak for him. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth and make it like seem dramatic and like he set me down. He told me, you know what I mean? But no, he really like reminded me at least that like, yo, this what you're supposed to be doing. Like you're not supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be doing that. So yeah, like I've hit those. That's why I kind of asked him, because I wanted insight to kind of like make sense of what I already been through too. So it's like, cheers, man. I appreciate you sharing that.
Salute.
Because there's guaranteed whoever is watching this shit, they probably do music too, and I guarantee they don't have those moments of like, that they kind of doubted themselves and shit. And I never doubted my skill, but I doubted my path like 80 million times, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel you, dog. I never doubted myself either. I never doubted my team. Like we came up, our crew was called Vital Status, so we started it, and I never doubted it. But for some reason, I always had the faith. I always knew we used to like kick it at the chicken shack at Mokoko at To's house. And in my mind, I'd be like practicing our acceptance speech for an award or something. I just always believed, bro.
Yeah.
I knew that we didn't have shit in front of us to do anything with. 4 strings on the guitar, 2 missing, like just ghetto as fuck. But I knew, man, once we get overseas, that was the thing. Gotta go overseas. We were going to the States, right? We were always talking about we gotta go to America. That's where it's at. But then we ended up going the New Zealand route to Australia, then to America and back and all that. And going to New Zealand showed me a different life experience of who we are as people. Because the Usos, the Tokos out there, you know, they go through exactly the same, but in the New Zealand way. And where are you going with this?
Am I going? Where am I? What?
Honestly,
This was about the.
I'm not gonna lie. This is
I'm looking at my
kicking
reflection
ass.
in the
That's what I'm
mirror.
sitting here like,
So I was like, man, somebody jump in there. God damn.
Hey man.
When the Modelo is punching you,
So I'm
turn the other cheek.
I'm turn the
And
other
let it
spirits.
punch the other cheek too.
I'm gonna ask you this, Zeus. Do you identify as a Polynesian?
Woo. Man, fuck that now. All right, so I still use the word. I use the word because it's easy for us to say, and it's easy to.
And
But
we're kind of here now. If this is the umbrella,
yeah,
Poly, Melanesian, Micronesian, we're here.
yeah.
It's like, all right,
I just don't like the idea of accepting shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I don't, man, if I'm gonna get like real with it, growing up, we would always hear, I don't know whether I want to refer to it as the N-word or, you know what I mean? Like, we'll just do that for the podcast. But I just kind of thought like, man, I understand people say they taking a term and they turning it into a term of endearment where they, like, oh, we flipped it. But I still kind of feel like it's an acceptance, you know what I mean, of a title. And if the title wasn't given to you by one of your own, it kind of just throws me off. So, like, I still say Polynesian because, it's quick. It's like, oh, yeah, you go like, there's a lot of Polynesian people, a lot of Polys over there. But I reckon I'm up on game. Like, I understand that if I look in a, Tongan glossary, Samoan glossary, all that, I'm not going to find the word Polynesian. You know what I'm saying? I did the research. I know it's a Germanic term. I know, it comes from, it's a name given to us by somebody else, which is why, and I ain't scared to say it, which is why in Hawaii, people don't like to be called haole. But in reality, it's like, it's a certain person that is used to traveling the world and giving everybody else a name. So when he goes to some part of the world where somebody else can name that motherfucker, you know what I mean? That strikes a nerve, you know what I mean? So, like, do I identify as a Polynesian? I identify as a Samoan, And do I believe that there's some ancient history that links us to something else that's before Samoan that might get people that are really proud to be Samoan mad that I say it? I do believe it, you know what I mean? But for now, until I know all the facts and shit, somebody asks me, what are you? I'm going to say, I'm Samoan. And then if they say, is that Polynesian? I'll be like, yeah, all right. Yeah, we Polynesian, I guess.
that's us.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into those types of conversations or arguments or debates with everybody because a lot of people,
So if you bring that up, or open a can of worms with my brother that's sitting next to you, and probably won't hear the end of it, bro.
So the thing is with this term is,
let the worms,
Sorry about my
Modelo.
laugh.
I just find it interesting. We never identified as Polynesian in Samoa. The only thing that I remember was the Polynesian Airlines. I just thought that was the name of the airline. And it was. I didn't understand that it's like a label from, what we've been stamped with. I never heard my dad talk about it the same, or anyone else. Then when you get to countries overseas, and then you go to the doctors or some shit, you have to tick a box. You have to say, oh, this is my race. It's weird. And then, like, I go back to mainland, and they're like, oh, you guys are Asian.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, not really, bro. Like, I mean, Bass is Asian because he's Bruce Lee's nephew. But you got all these stamps for us, and I'm just like, why don't you fuckers just ask, bro? Like, we could tell you what we are. And I feel like, and I'm going to say this in hip hop, as human beings, as young brothers, as men, whatever, I feel like the world keeps telling us who we are and what we can and can't do and how we should speak and how we should think and all of this bullshit. And I'm just like, motherfucker, ask. Because we got our own opinions. We got our own discussions. We got our own culture. We got our own history. And we are in places now where we're mixing with others. That's beautiful. The beautiful side of it is it's beautiful to mix and build with other people who are just like us or might be a distant relative from 150 ancestors ago. But for the world to tell us today on social media, fuck Twitter and all that bullshit, where they tell you how to think, feel, talk, act, walk, dress, how to fucking wear your hair.
Yeah.
I'm just like, motherfucker, just keep scrolling. I don't like being told how to be us.
Yeah.
There's a long ass way of saying that. I don't
Nah,
like
but-
being told how to be us.
And you want to name yourself, right? You know what I mean?
Man,
If-
I'm the
if-
Oos.
if-
He's the Oos,
Oh.
but I'm the other Oos.
See?
That's the Uso. The Oos, right? See?
Yeah. That's when I came, bro, when I accepted that name and I wanted to push that name, I was taking that name as not as the Oos. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that because you up there, though.
I meant
So I'm
it
saying that.
as the brother. You know what I mean? Like, that's the brother.
That's
the
the
brother right
that's
there.
social.
When I spit to you, when I tell you a story in music, I'm breaking it down like your boy. You know what I mean? I'm not
Like your boy that broke the bottle across the street just now.
Hey, he was my boy, but he, you know, he's shout out San Jose. He was like, I'm
Shout
from
out San Jose.
I was like, oh man, real rich we made. But, no, when I break into that Bay Area shit, it's kind of like he goes off. But yeah,
He was just
man.
trying to find somebody tonight
Yo, what happened?
Oh, this dude came up to us.
while we were waiting for the food.
Yeah, this gentleman of leisure.
What, was he trying to
Like,
scare
I don't know
money
why
off you
people
guys?
talking like I'm
Nah.
gonna rob them.
He just kept saying like, man, when I walk up to people, man, they just think I'm trying to rob their shit. Da, 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 da. And I told him that's because you over here. Like, you go on the onion, they don't go think you trying to rob nobody over there.
Yeah, you're
we
just
gonna look
another-
at you like, well, what you got? But, you might
you
get
bringing to
robbed
the
over there. So nobody's scared of you over there. But you're in a place where people are kind of scared of you because, I mean, that's Waikiki, man.
White.
You know,
Oh, sorry,
No,
white Kiki.
Waikiki.
White boy.
I heard that term
Yes.
this week,
Sorry.
and I walked down this strip, Waikiki, like going the other way, and I didn't see no black people, no brown people for like 15 minutes. Oh, I tell you. I remember that guy on the skateboard was like the first like Uso or like one of us.
And it was bumping on musicals.
Black or brown guy that and he was like on a skateboard and he was mean mugging us. But he had your song playing and we were just like, yeah. So to see that tripped me out. Like,
That's
I mean
nice.
all the white folks.
There was a time when we put out "Keep 'Em Outside" the video.
Yeah.
Everybody in the hood was like driving by bumping that shit. And at
Hey,
that
that-
time, I think
that
my
song's
car
important.
broke down. Like my
Oh,
car
shit.
broke down, so I was just walking on foot everywhere. I was like walking to the store and shit. I'd be at the crosswalk, hit the sign, wait for the shit to go. Somebody be driving by playing "Keep 'Em Outside," and I'd be like, damn.
Who these
Then,
motherfuckers in the hood,
then
bro?
we look at the streaming revenue and like 38 cents. Like,
At least it's something, right?
but you know what? It's man, just
climbing. It's
just to
climbing.
be able to make because everything everything we do is paintings, it's books. You know what I mean? Like people like to say, "Oh, rap song." They always got a negative way to address what we do, but what we do is art, and what we do, like all art, invokes emotion. You know what I mean?
I think
Nah, it was more than 38 cents. You know?
I think
You see me shining? Nah.
I think as artists, like we should never think about the money. We should always think about the money, business. But as artists, it's not about the money. As a businessman, yes, it's about the money. But when you're an artist, you're painting what you see, and you want to keep these other motherfuckers, keep them outside because they ain't from here and they ain't really love this place like we love it. They ain't respect it. Like however you're portraying your life, your understanding of the world and everything that you see in front of you in your music, that's what's important. And we should never go, all right, we're going to do this because we're going to get paid. You're going to get paid anyway if you're good enough at business. And you learn as you go. People like us, well, I'll say for me, people like me, I'm not educated, so I learn as I go. Every conversation I have with a person smarter than me helps me get further, and I can share that knowledge with anyone else that needs it. And then that conversation, they're gonna share some gems.
Yeah,
You know?
my brother told me a story about one of his photographer homies. I don't know if he want me to say the name, but whatever. E40. Wherever he goes, he carries like a little notebook.
E40 is his homie that.
Not my brother's homie, but some, you know, you can edit whatever you
I
want.
was
But
about to
anyway,
say, hey,
can we get that verse? No. He carries a notebook in his pocket, or wherever the hell. And anytime he hears like new knowledge or new slang, new term, just anything new, he'll stop a person and take a note, and, like write it down and all like that. Like, so, to me, kind of like what you just said, it's you still gotta have some level of humility to be like, I got some game, I know this, I know that, but I'm still willing to learn from somebody that knows more than me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's somebody that's on a huge level. He's still on that hype too. So.
that's good advice too. Kick it with people smarter than you and soak up game.
Mm-hmm.
So the East Coast, see you out there on the East, bro. Let's talk about that, because of many places that you've gone and spent time in your life.
Yeah.
You hit the East Coast. Whereabouts on the East Coast?
I used to live in Philadelphia. I lived in South Philly, 28th and Tasker. You can hear Jay Electronica on his I forget which one, Exhibit A, B, C, one of them shits. He mentions that part of Philly, and it's man, it's different now, I think, because like everywhere you go is like gentrification, whatever. But at the time, it was to quote the great philosopher Mitchie Slick, Triggeration Station. It was bad over there, and then. So we moved there the same reason why me, my brother, and my dad moved to all the ghettos on the West Coast, because we got to live within our means, you know what I mean? So we ended up, just like when you go to Aniani, you see, okay, this is the hood of Hawaii. If you get your money together and you move to the mainland, where you going to move? To the hood over there, you know what I mean? So we moved to the hood in Philly, and it was all off of a recommendation of my brother Mushmouth to pursue music under the group For the Live, because it was me, him, and a producer named Illmind. And I did it on kind of like a leap of faith. The leap of faith was easy. It was an easy sell because we were living in South Modesto at the time.
That's what came after that, eh?
Yeah. Because, I was like, okay, live in Philly and try to do hip-hop, do music, or stay in South Modesto and do whatever the fuck they got to offer, which is nothing. My boy, we were going to get a verse from Planet Asia.
Planet Asia.
From my boy Kile. And he told me, he's like, man, I think you could do this music. I think, like I said earlier, people convincing me. He said, I think you can do this. Instead of buying that verse from Planet Asia, we'll use that money on getting the ticket. And this was money that we generated off this mixtape I had called Moving Silence, with this DJ crew from the Bay called Demolition Man. So we made a bunch of money, we put it all together, and then he was like, yo, let's get this plane ticket, go move to Philly, record the album. So I went to the East Coast. There was like no Polynesian people there, you know what I mean? I didn't even see like one Samoan, one Tongan, one Hawaiian, nothing. So everybody thought I was Puerto Rican. And I had to keep telling people what a Samoan was. And at the time, Troy Polamalu was playing for the Steelers. So
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know what a Samoan is.
No, not at all.
I don't think people in New Zealand understand that about Polynesians. Like, they don't know what the fuck a Samoan is or a Tongan. Like,
in New Zealand?
No, over in the other parts of the world. Even in America. How people be like, oh, what? Oh, you're Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that a lot.
Like what you said earlier, like if there's only 500,000 of us in the world.
In the world. Not just the city, the world, Craig.
Of the world.
Gosh darn it.
That's like, damn, bro.
Shout out Uncle Rock. Can we get a case of
See? And then we go back to the rap. So he putting on. So say what they want to say, but he's one of the reasons why people know we exist. And so I'm all for that. And in Philly, it's funny too, because Philly, I don't want to go too far off track, but Philly's like a wrestling territory for like the independent scene.
Oh shit.
So
you see some shit?
I didn't go to, I was broke as fuck. I was eating double cheeseburgers and shit. I was walking through Philly everywhere, And you knew I was from the islands because I didn't know how to walk in snow. I was like walking like this.
It fucking snows out there.
Yeah, and I was trying not to, we made a snowman in our backyard we put like the snowman together and then we made like tinfoil to have a platinum grill.
Oh,
We
there you
called
go.
him-
Yeah.
We called him Jeezy the Snowman.
Jeezy the Snowman.
Yeah.
That's his thing. Yeah.
It was great. But yeah, we was out there doing music and then I was going through that whole situation trying to figure out how to move, maneuver, and wiggle like, as the only Samoan in Philly as far as I knew. They had Vice Ekahima out there. Toko used to play for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Shout out Vice Ekahima. And yeah, on that leap of faith, we were able to do music with all these different artists from the East Coast and New York, all that.
Yeah, I was about to say. So you went up to New York from Philly?
Yeah, like we did a bunch of shows in New York, small shows, but
went off though.
it was a good testing ground because growing up out here, then going to Cali and meeting all the Usos who did music over there, everybody had this insecurity of like, man, they never gonna accept us. It was like
New York?
just hip hop. Like they will never accept us. Even after all the
sorry.
shit that Booyah tried did.
So I'm gonna ask you this. When you say they'll never accept us, you mean like us?
So
Polynesians?
Polynesians, yeah. But I
Even
always
after
feel
all
like-
the shit that Booyah did
exactly.
and what Booyah represents on the West and then hip hop in general.
Yeah.
Like fucking Booyah Tribe took that shit to Germany and Japan when it was like,
And people
when
still
it
talking
wasn't
about
even
it.
and they don't
Years later, people still talking about it.
Cause I was gonna ask you that next. Well, you just said it. Do you feel like we get the salute, the respect, the love that as MCs? I feel like a lot of people do, but there are those that don't. There are those that say, Psh, these guys, those guys that get fussy at the they get fussy at the back of the show.
Nah,
There's not enough of us going over there. Do you reckon that's what it
100%,
is?
100%. I think we can't expect to get those props or whatever until we realize, until we give ourselves the props, like until we really realize, like, nah, cuz like we're dope. You know what I mean? As far as like the ones who care, the ones who put the craft time into the craft, because there was nowhere I went on the East Coast that I was telling people I was something else. I was like, oh, I'm actually Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? Every single place I went, I said I'm Samoan and I'm from Hawaii. And not one person, at least to our face, said anything negative. You know what I mean? They was all like, oh, that's the Hawaii homies right there. And that dude is a Samoan, you know? The funny, like, IA told me that one of the, I forget the dude's name, man. I'm gonna fuck this up, but like he said the dude thought I was black and Samoan, but at least he still said Samoan. But everywhere I went, I told people I was Samoan. I told them I was from Hawaii. We rep Y9 as a group. I live in and am from 94 block. And it was always positive. Anytime it was negative, I'd like to believe that we didn't do our job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think like it was negative because like, oh, they don't respect us. They don't. Nah, they fuck with us. And I think a lot of Samoans don't really understand like the world fucks with us. And once we accept that in our mind, then we can go into shit and be like, yeah, I'm worth this, I'm worth that. I can command this crowd, I can command this money, I can command everything because I'm worth it and people respect me.
I feel you. I never understood the segregation part of the world in music. How you would say like you got Latinos, you got the Islanders, you got African Americans, you got like Eminem and all these great MCs that come from all these groups. To me, I always thought, and this is my ignorance to the world before I left Samoa. To me, I was like, we're all the same. Whoa, we're hip hop.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. And then I get overseas, and a lot of people still function that way. Majority of people I meet function like we're hip hop. We're actually a part of a family. We're a tribe.
Yeah.
And then you have those who would say otherwise. Those who say, oh, no, you're not really part of this. Or the flip side on that was when I got into the industry, when we got into the industry, and they would say, oh, where you from? Okay, you're Polynesian, so you're in the Polynesian category. And I was like, category? Like, wait, so how many categories is it? Oh, no, like rap, Polynesian. So, like, I can't go kick it with the white homie that raps?
Yeah.
Like, the fuck? So that shit was new to me. And I appreciate the conversations with people that feel that way, but me, I can't convince myself to feel that way about human beings. If that makes sense to anybody in this room. Or anybody watching out there in Disneyland. You feel me?
It makes sense. I think to what you're saying, like, so once when you, to me, in hip hop, in everything, basketball, whatever the hell, when you walk in the room in a world that, especially America, in a world that's so racial centric, if that's a word, first they look at what you look like.
Yeah.
You gotta earn the right to be looked at based off of who you are, right? And it's not your fault you gotta earn that shit because it's, you know, it's something that's imposed on us. So when I walk in the room, if it's a room full of people that look a certain way and I'm the only Samoan in there and I look like a Samoan dude, the first thing people gonna be like, who the fuck is that? So I gotta put in the time to the craft and to every word that I put and not skip a bar and nothing. To when I grab that fucking mic and I get on there and spit that shit, boom, all that thought, like literally you can see it in people's eyes when you're on stage. It just leaves their fucking mind. And then they're like, oh, this dude's a sick ass MC. This is hip hop.
And that's what it should be. It should be bars. Yeah. Bars over everything. You know, it should be the message, the music and everything. But yeah.
They still gotta get to that point, you know. And then if you put it in your own head to where you say, like, it's a good thing that you don't see it that way. For other people, when they put it in their own head to where they segregate themselves, they're cutting themselves short because they don't realize that, like I said earlier, like, dude, the world fucks with us. They want to fuck with us. They might not even know it yet, but it's gonna take all of us to accept and love ourselves enough to be like, look, they want to hear my shit, so I'm gonna go over there and spit my shit. And I think there's I can't even name them all. But there's probably so many Polynesian artists that would gain traction out that way just off of the fact that they're dope. You know what I mean?
I think we're still figuring it out, too. I mean, like us sitting at this table, if you're going to look at it from a Polynesian perspective, a lot of what we've done, we're the first to do it.
True.
As Pacific
That's how I view
people.
Uptown.
Feel me, though? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, like we'll figure it out, bro.
How'd you come across Uptown?
My cousin Kenzie from Welly is the one that, when I got overseas and she found out that I was rapping, because she's rapping. Shout out Kenzie from Welly, I love you.
Dope MC too, bro.
She was the one that was putting me up on game on everybody that she fucks with. That she was like, this is the best MC from here, there. They got all this dope shit going on with their crew. So that's how I got involved with Uptown. And I hit him up straight away. I was like, hey, man, I'm a rapper. I want to do some music. I want you to be on this track. And he said, yeah, straight away. He was my first feature, bro.
For real?
Yeah. I sent him 2 joints, and I was like, hey, man, maybe you could pick one out of these if you like them. Otherwise, I'll send some more. And he goes, I fuck with both of them.
All, bro. He killed both.
He got on both joints, bro, and shit, the rest was history. I found youth through Uptown. So with you and Uptown, with the Oos and Uptown Suite, if I see a rapper I don't know, new guy, whatever, but I see he's got a feature from you and or Uptown, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking listen to this guy. Because you can't get a feature from these guys. Like, this is my opinion. And a lot of people think like this. You can't get a feature from the Oos or Uptown if you can't, you know, hold it down.
Yeah, it's like spitting.
So in other ways, like if I see your name featured on the show, I'm like, they must be dope. So yeah,
because it's pretty hard to I feel sorry for the other guy on the song, because then you'll end up fucking caleping him on his own shit.
Straight away. Man. But nah, man, you know what? Props to what you've been doing, bro. I see you out here, you know, representing the culture, representing our people, our folks, people like us, people who are us. I think the whole world can relate to your stories. Like if they make a movie, when you make the movie about his life,
oh no,
like people will watch it and understand it and tap in a real way.
Who would we cast to play the role?
Dwayne, nah.
Uske.
Shout out Uske. I love you, bro.
Here. Please play me in the role.
Terrell, can you play the Oos?
Yeah.
Straight away. Nah, man, respect,
man,
dude.
respect, bro.
I'm in the gym last week.
Oh, you in the gym? Oh.
Jim Beam. I'm in the Jim Beam. I'm in the gym last week, right?
Yeah.
I go in for a day or two, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna listen to today? I'm sick of listening to everything.
Mm.
For some reason, I was like, I'm gonna listen to Benny the Butcher. And I don't really listen to a lot of his stuff. I'm still catching up. Like I'm always like, all right, I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So I finally got to Benny because I know he's the fucking man, and I wanted to study his shit. And then I see you got tracks with him, dog.
Yeah,
And I'm just like,
Man, that's tough, bro.
it just so happens to be that we're flying over in like 48 hours to come and see you, and here you are with this guy that I just tapped it. So, you know, I see the omens, the good omens, the bad omens. I see the signs. That's me, dog. And I thought, that's trippy. How did you get with Benny the Butcher, bro?
shit, bro. Like, so this dude named he goes by Dread Solo. I think is how you know.
Like Han Solo? Dread Solo?
Yeah, but like the Dread is Solo, so one lock.
Wait, Dread Solo.
And I hope I'm not butchering his name as we are how many modelos deep.
Bless
But
you, brother.
he's a journalist from Philly. He works at well, I don't know if he still works there, but him and this other dude worked as a mailman.
Mailman.
But he's like a tattoo artist too, and he just would write blogs on rap and shit. But he would do a lot of underground shit. So he started like dropping a bunch of people that people should listen to. And the one name that stuck out at the time that didn't blow up yet was Westside Gun. So I was like, who the fuck is Westside Gun? I just like the name, you know? So I went and looked his music up, and his shit was like, I was like, oh, this is kind of like shit that we all grew up on. Like, just like some Ghostface, you know, whatever. And there was one verse, I wish I could remember the name of the song, but there was one verse on that song, and I was like, who the fuck is rapping like this? Because it's like people can rap, people can, you know, lyrical, miracle, all that shit. But like, there's certain people that can articulate a certain lifestyle that you wouldn't know about unless you live that lifestyle. And when I was listening to his words, I was like, oh damn, this motherfucker's like, I can tell he knows what he's talking about. So it stuck out in my head, and at the time it wasn't Benny the Butcher, it just said Benny. So somehow I found a way to like get in contact with him. And originally, all I wanted to do was buy a CD because he had 2 CDs. He had 17 Bullets, and he had My First Brick. And I was like, shit, I just want to buy a CD. And then I thought, shit, man, you know, I don't know what level in the game he's at, but let me like, I respect his pen. Let me try and see if we can do a song because I made a beat that I thought he would match on. And I said, hey, man, I got such and such amount for you. I literally worded like that. I put the amount of money and shit. And I said, I got this for you if you down to jump on a song. He said, he hit me back. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. So he sent the verse back like a little while. It took some time. I had to kind of convince him. Cut that shit out.
Take the whole year.
I had to kind of like, you know, remind him that I needed the verse. But he sent the verse. And man, I'm telling you, it was like buying Amazon stock when Amazon first came out. You know what I mean? That's what it was like.
What's up?
So it was, you know, that's God. So I recorded it, and in true Oos fashion, I released it 200 years afterwards when I had the money to release
Somebody got to do it that way, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And then like now it's crazy because like everybody's always like wondering like, damn, how the fuck did you do it? But it's like,
But that's the story.
it's like
That's
stock,
the
you know what I
business,
mean?
yeah.
It's like recognizing value in something and then jumping on it before everybody else does. And I just thought like, yo, this dude is super dope. Like somebody would probably do that with all of us. You know, they might see the value in us, like whether we doing music, whether we doing movies and shit. And they might see like, oh, let me jump on this before everybody else does. And then when it pays off, people always wonder like, how the fuck did you do that with this dude? How do you do that with that dude? You know, you might be the person that they ask that question about later, you know?
Yeah,
That's what happened with
that's a
Benny.
sicky way of putting it in.
Yeah. I didn't know. I knew he was gonna like kind of blow, but I didn't know he was gonna blow like this. Like,
went up,
damn,
dog.
this motherfucker blew up.
Went up. Congratulations, Benny the Butcher. Yeah, dope MC
But
too,
he worked.
bro.
I can firsthand. I can tell you, like he worked his way up that way because the little small like what do you call that messages going back and forth. I could tell he's a real person. I could tell he was an honorable person. That he wasn't going to like run off on the plug and shit. And I could tell that he was working his ass off to get to where he is, and it's inspirational.
I love that shit, bro.
This ain't the only like it's one isolated incident that I'm bringing up, but there's been a lot of times whether it be like a story, whether it be like a post or whatever. But one time that sticks out in my mind is when you guys you accepted an award and you went up there and you gave a speech. And I could tell there ain't no way in hell I can repeat that speech verbatim. But I could tell that what you were saying was something that other artists or other Samoans would be afraid to say in front of a crowd. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it that makes you willing to test traditions, willing to, you know what I mean? Like, what is it that makes you fearless when it comes to pushing your message, or in a world like you said, in a world where this kind of is the first time that we did this shit. You know what I mean? Because you can ask my brother, like I'm the type of person that kind of always plays the cut. Sometimes that's not the way to go about in life and shit. But, you know, I got my own reasons for some of that shit. But what makes you be willing to stand up in front of the gun? You know what I'm saying?
I remember that speech.
Yeah.
That was the night off.
That's probably the only speech I remember.
Yeah, because the last one we just got up there and said thank you. So it was the one before that.
That was the best. That was one of the best ones too.
We was in the hood, that's South Side. It's the hood. We just felt comfortable. Like we knew like everyone that was there. White people were there, black, brown people, whatever. Everyone that comes from a different environment, but they were where we was trapping. They were where we sold shit. They were where we scrapped and got arrested, and where we lived that life. They were right there. It looks like a freaking arena, our base.
Yeah, it does.
It's an arena, but all that surrounds it, like Otara's that way, Rewa's over here, Weary's right there. So I really felt like comfortable, to be honest, to just get up there, and I don't remember shit. Next day, I was asking to the man, did I swear up there? Did I say some curse words? And I think you said, "Tole lava." Is it that right?
No, because I think I could feel it going the other way. And I was like, "Tole, kippy."
So he saved my ass, but I think what was said was just straight from the heart. We didn't plan it. We didn't even think we were gonna win nothing. And you know, because we were invited to a music awards, we made the plan that we should drink the Hennessy bottle and like half a box of Bovi Vailima, which is the big fungus that whoop your ass, before we go in. Because it makes sense, right?
It's like a Mickey. That's like a
Psalm 140.
the size of the Mickey bottles.
And they don't make them no more, sadly, but yeah. So we did that.
But to be honest, also, I was glad that you said what you said there. You know.
Yeah, I posted it just to support the Pacific Music Awards a little while ago, because there's a lot of artists that feel like they're not going to support the awards for whatever reason. But me, I keep telling these artists, friends of ours, like, look, man, your complaint is solid. Excuse me. Everyone has their own opinion, of course. My thing is this: you guys grew up here, so you get to say, don't really want to do that. Like, it's not for whatever. We come from a place where we don't have shit. So I'm coming to your house, and you're throwing your toys out. You're throwing your privileges out, and you don't even realize it. Motherfucker, we don't got shit where we come from. We come here, and you're complaining about this. Like, don't complain. Jump in there and fix what you want fixed. So the complaining and the entitlement, that's the shit that I don't fuck with. And then I see, like, when we talk about mental health, we talk about it's because of this. You know, when I talk about colonization, it's not to point the finger at some palangi that came from Europe 300 years ago. History is history. None of us here today can change that. We're trying to change the mentality by educating people. Look, man, all this fucked up shit happened. And I'm bringing it up because we don't know it. So you can see what you have in front of you. Fucking privilege. It's a privilege for me to have an overseas passport. Because I flew around the world on the Samoan. You can't get into countries with a Samoan passport as easy as other countries. For example, and this is trippy, I don't have an American passport, even though my dad's American. So I have to use my New Zealand passport to get over here first. Because when I use my Samoan, I got to go through all this bullshit. So passport privileges to me is a big privilege that people don't really recognize. Where the fuck's my passport? Oh, the shit's expired. Like, to me, it's like, dog, that shit, you got to be on point. That's what my dad taught me.
It's your key to the world.
It's your key. It's a fucking, it's a hack, a life hack. It's your fucking ticket in. And once you get in that motherfucker, run it. See, we have all these things in front of us that we don't even appreciate because it's hard to. We got all this extra shit going on, right? Overseas. I'm not going to think of a passport like that's important, but it really is. See, now that we're in a position where we travel, you guys, we can travel the world now in music, Polynesian hip hop. But you need a fucking Polynesian passport. You need a passport. So all these things that our cousins are, going back to the awards and just life in general, everything that everyone has, there's always somebody worse off. So I always remember that. I always remember starving in Samoa, not eating for 3 or 4 days. Then to come over to New Zealand where people are getting paid from the government $180 a week just to sit at home on the couch.
There's no so
Shout out to social welfare.
Enlighten me, because I'm ignorant to I'm ignorant to we still, and I don't mean no offense to nobody out there, we still call it Western Samoa too, as coming from Amalika Samoa. There's no like social what do you call it, like
social justice and equality for now.
like there's no there's no welfare, there's no kind of
no welfare,
nothing.
Like motherfuckers had dreams about going overseas. Like, wait, you guys get paid to sit at home? What's the catch? What's the catch? They're like, there's no catch. Like, you just sit at home for 50 years and get paid. Shut the fuck up. This ain't real. Shit. Because first thing I did when I got overseas is I got on they gave me a year. They said, you're not eligible until you're 16. And when it was 16, I got given something called the Independent Youth Benefit because I didn't have parents. So once I was 15, I had to just, rob or steal, sell dope, whatever. But when I was 16 to 17, I had a year of Independent Youth Benefit. And then from there, they sent my ass to go work at Kmart rather than give me the thing. And I'm glad they did. Kmart has some nice, good-looking girls. So the mic cut out, but we still got beer though. So we're gonna we're gonna go ahead and say thanks, guys, for tuning in. Love you, bro.
Yes, love you
That's
too,
for the
man.
podcast.
Thank you guys
Best buddy.
for coming, man.
Thank
coming
you.
to the Aina.
Cousin Mike, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. And yeah. 808-685 and all that good shit. We out
Is it
here.
still recording? I'm gonna take them to Chez Monique, y'all.
Where's that?
Trust me, you guys are gonna love
Is
it.
that the place? Yeah, we're
It's
going
terrible.
now. Let's cut.
We're gonna
Love
see
you guys.
two ladies fighting in the parking lot. I promise.
Let's go now.